Hi, this is Amanda with Abundant Life Bookkeeping, and this session is when to get professional bookkeeping help. Legally, we do want to let you know that this information is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to substitute professional or legal advice. We do strive to make this information as timely and accurate as possible, but we cannot guarantee that it will apply to your specific situation. The objectives of this course are that you, the student, will be able to verbalize why this topic is important, that you'll understand what bookkeepers actually do, that you'll understand what a professional bookkeeping service can offer you, and that you can recognize the signs that it might be time for you to get some professional bookkeeping help. Why is this topic important? Well, it is important to recognize why a professional bookkeeper might do a better job than other options, and it's important to recognize at what point in your business that you should probably prioritize getting some professional help with your bookkeeping. Detailed accounting records that are maintained by an experienced bookkeeper can give business owners peace of mind and allow them to focus on their area of expertise. Also, having someone else that is handling the books usually assures that the accounting records are kept up to date. It's so easy for business owners to put it on the back burner. There's a lot of confusion around what a bookkeeper actually does and how a bookkeeper and CPA are different. I usually like to use the example of a doctor and a nurse. The nurse is there doing the nitty-gritty details of caring for the person, of doing the blood pressure and charting and watching the patient for signs of a problem. And then the doctor comes in and checks. They're checking the records of what the nurse has recorded, and they're using their more extensive expertise to diagnose problems or prescribe a solution. And so I think that's a good way to describe the differences between what a bookkeeper does and what a typical CPA does. And so if we just want to list out what a bookkeeper does, they can clean up, catch up, and maintain your accounting books. They can often help with payroll, invoicing, paying bills, handling receipts. Sometimes there's a bookkeeping service that also provides tax. A lot of times those businesses focus on tax and bookkeeping is a side issue, and sometimes it's not done regularly and thoroughly, only well enough to get your taxes done. So just be sure that you're asking lots of questions and know what it is that you want before you hire a CPA firm to do your bookkeeping. Typically, bookkeeping services include the basics of recording, organizing, and reconciling accounts. So we're going to break that down just a little bit. Let's talk about what recording financial transactions is. If you're using an online accounting platform, typically those connect to your business account and the transactions pull into that system. And so from there, your bookkeeper can categorize them to the appropriate accounts. There will always be at least a few questions about what a transaction is for, but usually once your bookkeeper's familiar with what your business spending habits are and what you want to see on your reports, there are less questions. If your bookkeeper is not asking you questions, sometimes they're either not doing your books or they're guessing, which is not a good idea. And then organizing financial data. In a different session, we talked about the chart of accounts and how important it is to organizing your reports. And so a good bookkeeper is going to try and help make sure that your chart of accounts is set up in an optimal way for your business type and for the information that you need to make the best business decisions. And then we have reconciling accounts. Professional bookkeeping services should ensure that all of your transactions match your bank and credit card statements every month. Also, having an independent bookkeeper handling your accounts can help give that added checks and balances to your accounting process, outside eyes on your accounts. Let's talk about a bookkeeping service compared to an in-house bookkeeper. Something we frequently see is a business that tries to hire an all-in-one office person that can also handle the bookkeeping. And honestly, having proper accounts without an experienced bookkeeper is often a gamble. And sometimes somebody will say they have some experience, but if that's not their primary position, that can get really muddy as far as what they mean with experience. That person can probably handle invoicing and bank deposits, but unless they're highly trained in bookkeeping and the accounting platform that you're using, you're likely to end up with a mess and unreliable books. There are a lot of areas in business where it's fine to combine roles, but your accounting processes are not usually a good place to do that. Errors in your bookkeeping can be costly, and they continue to build up as you continue down that same road. An internal bookkeeper is also attached to your business. There's potentially a connection to different transactions that could sway their thoughts and feelings about how to handle those in your bookkeeping platform. And again, those can affect your finances and your financial reports. Also, with an in-house bookkeeper, you're going to be dealing with employment expenses like benefits, time off, and then often turnover. Another options that you can consider would be your CPA or tax preparer. We briefly touched on this before. Typically, if you take an accounting mess to your CPA or tax preparer, they're either going to tell you that they can't do the taxes until it's cleaned up, or they're going to charge you CPA prices for tax cleanup that's just detailed enough to prepare your taxes and not necessarily producing reports that give you a thorough picture of your business to help you make business decisions. Unfortunately, I've seen some CPAs who don't know how to do bookkeeping, and then accounting graduates who weren't taught that specific skill in school. Most accounting degrees focus on principles for large corporations, and so they're just not taught how to do bookkeeping for a smaller business. So if you want to talk to your CPA about bookkeeping services, ask lots of questions. Make sure you know what they're going to do on their end, and make sure that they understand what you would like to see in your books. We've talked about a few things to watch out for. Now let's talk about what to look for in a professional bookkeeping service. So as you're evaluating bookkeeping services, you're looking for someone who is attentive to details and they communicate well. They're organized. They're asking good questions about your business. They are willing to provide timely and accurate reports. They'll visit with you when you have questions and explain things in a way that you understand. Look for someone who's certified in the accounting platform that you're choosing to use. Each platform is different, and someone who's great with QuickBooks Desktop might have a lot of trouble with QuickBooks Online, and vice versa. Definitely choose someone that you feel comfortable with. It's important that communication is good between you and your bookkeeper. There's a lot of conversation and questions that go back and forth. So you want to make sure that you're working with someone that you feel good talking to. I do recommend that you consider someone who specializes in your industry or is at least familiar with your business. But there's different nuances to each industry, and finding someone with other clients in your industry will give them more insight into your books and the ability to make recommendations that will be more helpful to you. They're also more aware of particular issues that your industry deals with and how to more smoothly handle those specific things. Here are some signs that you might need to get some professional bookkeeping help. Your books are always outdated. Do you have a backlog of paperwork and a shoebox of receipts? Maybe you've never reconciled. Tackling anything accounting may seem daunting because you're not confident what you're doing, or maybe it's all of manually entering transactions into a spreadsheet and it's super time consuming. You don't have enough time for everything. A growing business means more clients, more client-specific work, and also more back office paperwork. The to-do list continues to grow as your business grows. If you can't find the time in the day to get everything done, it's probably time to prioritize what's important for you to do in your business and get some things off your plate so that you can focus on those priority items. Maybe you're only updating your books before tax season, or you're taking the whole pile to your CPA just to get your taxes done. Not only do you not have up-to-date financials throughout the year, but you just have that stress looming over you of having to pull all that together to get your taxes done. Maybe you're not confident in your bookkeeping skills. I'm sure you're an expert at what you do, but you can't be an expert at everything. If you have doubts about whether you're managing your books properly, it might be time to hire some bookkeeping help for peace of mind. Maybe you're missing tax deductions or overstating income. Chances are you've missed some tax deductions over the years because you haven't been tracking them along the way. It's easy to miss tax write-offs when you're scrambling to update your books at the last minute. Thankfully, bookkeepers are recording transactions along the way to make sure that you capture all those deductions that you can. Or maybe you accidentally overstated your income because everything received into your account was categorized as income without realizing maybe that time you closed one bank account and when you moved the money over into your other account, it was categorized as income when it wasn't really income. Maybe you feel like you need a break from the grind and you're feeling burned out. Are you overworked and tired? Is the cumbersome task of maintaining your books draining your energy and diminishing your passion for your primary work? If you feel like this, consider outsourcing your bookkeeping to free up time and headspace so that you can rekindle your passion for your calling and reconnect with why you started your business. And last, maybe you're overpaying that accountant to do your bookkeeping. Bookkeeping and accounting are not the same. Just remember, pause. Okay, bookkeeping and accounting are not the same. You do not want to pay tax preparer prices for your bookkeeping. In conclusion, records maintained by a professional bookkeeper often give business owners peace of mind and that they know that their books are always up to date. Bookkeeping can include anything from cleaning up historically the books that maybe you haven't been able to keep up with. Some bookkeepers can help handle your payroll, invoicing your clients, paying bills, and handling receipts. Remember that some CPA firms provide bookkeeping, but be cautious. Remember to ask lots of questions and make sure that you understand what it is that you need from bookkeeping processes. And remember, it's not always a good idea to hire an in-house bookkeeper. So make sure that you're evaluating the skills that they really have, and then keep an eye on your reports to make sure that everything's being done correctly.